Hi guys and welcome back to Scribe Gaming. I'm your man Scribe and we're going to do some GAC catch-ups. Did you know that I do these GAC battles live on Twitch? Check out the description down below. Please do consider giving me a follow on Twitch and join in on the action live, unadulterated, and straight to your TV screens. Anyway, let's get into this. Okie doke, so this is the matchup. Let's zoom in just a smidgen. It might be beneficial if I just disappear ever so briefly. Okay, here we are. You can see my stats on the left and our opponent Memo on the right. He is a member of the Star Killers Guild. I have a bit of an advantage in Guild GP, but I don't really think that's going to really impact here. His rank is slightly higher, score is slightly better. Lifetime ban is not so great though. So you can see in the offensive wins, he's beating me, but I have more unders and defends as well. GP wise, he's got about 1.5 million more GP than me. It's a decent chunk, but nothing that I can't overcome potentially, maybe, if things swing in our favor, but who knows. Let's have a look. So, as usual, they've got more Zetas. I have more armies, and my average speed is better by a hair. You can see, as far as 6-dot mods go, they do have a couple more, about 20 more 6-dot mods, but my overall mod quality, I would argue, is better than theirs. I've got a higher top end and a better spread of offense percentage mods. We look at the relic summary over here. He doesn't have any relic 9s, which is fantastic for me to see. But he does have me beat on tier 8s and tier 7. Relic 8 and Relic 7 for them much higher, and the total levels obviously dwarfs mine, unfortunately. When it comes to GLs. Ah, dear me. Okay, so we've got my paltry 3 GLs up against a maximum 6 GL roster account. When I saw this, guys, I have to be honest with you, I figured this was a loss at the gate. There is only so much you can really do when you're punching up against this sort of disadvantage. But hey, we will try all the same. You can see my DR is faster than his. My cat is slow, but she's healthy. That's how I like to build her. He's got a bit of a speed advantage in the Maul, but mine has a slight bit more offense. The good thing to see here is his Piet isn't fast enough to take on my DR, which is nice to see. But his Moff Gideon is relatively quick. Okay, so also this is important. You can see that his Executor is only 5-star, so maybe that can give us a bit of a benefit. Alright, let's go ahead and jump into the actual footage now, I think. Let's just take a look here. So when I started this, he had already full cleared me. You can see at 1776 that he has definitely dropped some banners. You should be over 1800 if you were to one-tap this complete defense. You can see over here that he has dropped the battle on my Mara Jade, but nothing else on my GLs. You can also see that on the back wall, he has one-tapped the BAM, one-tapped the Qui-Gon Jinn, one-tapped the Geonosians. Up in my north section in front of Fleet, he did not drop a single battle. Big sad for me. And on the back wall over here is where we get an extra hold. So we got a hold on our exec, and we got a hold on one other team. As far as his defenses go, he does have Rey on the front wall. We've got Kyle Katarn, we've got some Night Sisters there as well. Nothing too crazy. In the south section, we've got GG, we've got Qui-Gon Jinn, we've got a Maul lead Mandos, and we've got Lord Vader. We're going to start off by taking out this GG8 team with the greatest Omicron ever introduced into life itself, and that would be the trusty Wampacron. I am a big fan of the Wampacron, guys. It brings a lot of viability to this particular character, who is perhaps seen historically as something that is not great. It certainly had the uses before, but Wampa has really evolved into a different beast altogether with the introduction of this Omicron. This is my personal current favorite use of using Wampa. The idea here is to definitely try and stack as much max health as you can on your Wampa. I like to go for lots of max health and lots of tenacity. That means I'll be able to use Wampa in other situations, such as taking out Iden Versio teams or potentially taking out some strong Mon Mothma Kyle Katarn teams. So as you can see, with this particular counter, there's not a whole lot that the droids can do. The most important thing is to make sure that you do not hit BB-8 unless it's a counterattack. You do not want him counterattacking you and putting tenacity down on you. And then, you can get stunned, you can get heal immunity'd, you can get all sorts of nasty business. Apart from that, we're just going to be roaring at every opportunity, which raises our max offense by 40% each time we use it. So eventually we're going to be doing a rather large amount of that juicy, juicy, delicious damage. You can see it's just left to B1 and our boy Grievous over here. And there's not a whole lot that they can really do. We're just going to be constantly counter-attacking. And thanks to that 75% additional offense, max health, protection, and defense, our Wampa is far too chonker for these droids to deal with. Not even the mighty Dooku, not even the mighty Grievous can stand up to us. We'll just slap him here. We probably could have just roared there. Boop, 67,000, not particularly high, 71k. So we got the job done. Good banners. If only we had a means of recovering that protection. Big shame, big shame. Okay, so I believe we jump straight into an attempted counter to this Lord Vader. Now consider, ladies and gentlemen, I have put 2 GLs on defense out of the 3 that I have. I've got JMK, I've got Rey, and I've got JML. He has got 2 GLs on defense, so I needed to think of non-GL counters to these teams. So the first one that I had in mind was going to be this Fennec counter. Now, unfortunately, I do not have ZAM, and my Fennec mods are not keyed in, and I don't have a whole lot of relics on them. I'm not like your boy Van Seal, who's rocking R9 tricked out 16 modded bounty hunters. So I go in and I do this just as a learning experience. I figured with this kind of disadvantage in GLs, I might as well just try and do something new, something different. So we immediately trigger contract thanks to all those dots getting reversed by grief. And I just start putting the armor shred on Lord Vader. I didn't actually look up how to do this counter when we started, so I thought, let's just throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. I knew I needed to get rid of Royal Guard, but I didn't know if I'm supposed to focus on Lord Vader or kill Royal Guard first. Couldn't remember. Didn't know if I should have flipped it on back or if I should have just done the mass assist. I went for the mass assist because I was like, I want to get rid of that Royal Guard. That's what I want to do. Didn't want to do the AoE here because they had so much retribution. I thought it'd be a bad idea. And then I realized, oh, wait a minute, I've got Disintegrate. So I probably could have focused on Lord Vader this whole time. And, then maybe disintegrated Royal Guard with this instead. So I had to think about it. I thought, you know what, Royal Guard's nearly dead. Let's go ahead and get rid of Thrawn to stop him being annoying. And then I thought, oh gosh, we're looking a little bit hairy here. And put some more stacks of that ferocity armor shred over on Lord Vader because I know that I need to get him weak enough so that I can deal some good damage. Because he's a chunky boy. He is a chunky boy. So a few mistakes I've probably made during this, but we are slowly getting through that Royal Guard. Again, I probably should have mass assisted on Vader. Not entirely sure, but I suppose without Royal Guard he's got less mastery. This is part of the problem though, is that I realized I was not going to beat this Lord Vader, so I figured I've got to try, if I can, just take out as many ads to make a cleanup mission much easier. So as you can see, didn't go entirely according to plan, but at least we got it into a position where it's probably likely we could do a cleanup without using anything too crazy. So for a cleanup, I decided to, again, throw stuff at the walls to see what worked. I decided maybe Maul Mandos can get this done. I'm pretty certain he's used his mass days, which is the real thing that'll put a spanner in our works. And I wasn't sure if I should focus down Krennic or if I should just go straight in on Lord Vader again. I figured I'd play it safe and try and kill Krennic first. Mostly because if I fail this, at least it's just a lone Lord Vader then. So I put Krennic into a position where I can actually kill him with the last hit of the AoE and get max stacks of ferocity. I go full send on Lord Vader, and it's not really enough, to be honest. Look, we only got him down at half health with a maximum 5 stacks of that seething rage call to assist. I was surprised at just how chunky this guy is, and unfortunately he did just go ahead and mass daze everybody. So I was like, well, I can't see me killing Lord Vader now, but at least Krennic's gone. There was no point in me using seething rage here, because everybody was dazed apart from Armorer. I decided to get rid of the daze here. I should have done that on Canderous, not on Watt. But, mistakes were made. I realized then, I was like, oh, I probably should have got rid of it on Canderous. I put the the tank tech, sorry, on Maul just to make sure he can cleanse his debuffs. We don't want him getting dazed. And Canderous, I think, nearly bloomin' dies. I think we put we put the Beskar armor on Maul here. That makes him a little bit more chunky. I still didn't do the AoE, the Sheathing Rage, because Canderous is still in a bad way. I now cleanse off all those dots in the daze off Canderous. I was like, wow, I should have done that far earlier. And then I figured, right, okay, we've got to try and deal some damage. And we do get some way. We do get some way, and we get to Armor Shred over there, and we start chipping away. And I was like, okay, let's do another one. Let's go. Boop. And boop. And then I'm like, my god. Even with my 9,000 offense Maul and my Relic 5 Canderous, we're still just not doing the damage that we need to. So yeah, it's a little bit disappointing overall. Again, we're coming up. We've just got him into about 30 to 40%, you know, of his max health. I decide to try and use all the Seething Rages again, just to try and bring him down. And I'm like, well, we're getting close. We're getting close. We're nearly there. And I thought if I had the full 5 stacks, we probably would have dealt with him then. I get rid of some of the buffs, the debuffs, but then Lord Vader goes into his ultimate, drops a fat stack, kills Watt, and I'm like, okay, takes 2 turns, and then he's basically got all his health back, and I'm dazed and can't do anything about it. I was like, well, we might be in a spot of bother now, because, you know, that daze that seems to last for basically forever is going to be real big problems for us. So I was thinking here, I was like, can I maybe get an all-stars aligned moment? No. Lord Vader is just crushing my hopes and my dreams in one go. Now, again, these are counters that I've never used before, and you know how it is when you're in the heat of streaming. You don't think about and research every little penny of detail. You just sort of see what happens. So, I found out that this didn't work, and unfortunately it puts me in a really bad position. We've already had 2 drop battles, because this isn't going to win. We've had 2 drop battles at the gate. Yes, we do have wiggle room because he has not got great score on his clear, but, you know, when he still has at least 2 GLs, this is not looking great. But as you see, Lord Vader is, like, very, very nearly dies a couple of times, but he just hits that ultimate, and that just kind of puts a nail in the coffin, really. Again, if you have those dazes getting cleansed, it would be useful. Maybe in future I could put the armor tech on Canderous instead, and that would put him in a situation where he can get rid of the dazes and the dots. The sooner you can get that triple stack of Beskar armor on people, the better, really, because it will be cleansing every time you take a turn. But yeah, maybe it's a modern case. Maybe if I had just a little bit more DPS on this, we could have cleared through, but just got very close a couple of times. Very close. Or maybe I just need to Relic 9 my Maul. No, that's just foolishness. That is just foolishness. So it was at this point I was deciding, should I have really pushed it this far, or should I have tried to leave this Lord Vader with a lot less health instead of basically letting him fully recover? So I think I hold it here and I run down the clock, because I don't want him to do an attack now and then just recover all his health. It's the longest 6 seconds of my life. I put it down to 1 speed, and I think I just do the AoE from Maul here. Get the attack, just to do a little bit of chip damage. This is a nice lolly. Gotta stay hydrated in the sun, guys. Okay, so next up, we've... So, yeah, I also ended up throwing CLS at it, and that didn't work out too well either. So I basically wasted Maul Mandos, CLS, and something else, the Fennec Bounty Hunters team, all on Lord Vader, and didn't kill him. So, yeah, I pretty much know that this game is a loss already after the very first battle. So I just decide to clean up what I know I can clean up, and I go in with Bad Batch against Omicron Qui-Gon Jinn. Now this one does not have a full team of Galactic Republic, so Anakin's damage is going to be a little bit lower. He resisted the stun and then resisted the stun, which is, you know, it's just beautiful. It's what we want to happen every single time things like this come around. What can you do? What can you do? He didn't resist the stun that time, which is nice, but obviously we do not want to be triggering any more damage right now, because that can hurt. But like I said, the fact that he didn't have a full team of Galactic Republic on his squad made things a heck of a lot easier. I decided to just, you know, YOLO it and say, you know what, he's done his AoE, let's just kill Qui-Gon Jinn and start killing people. We roll out the bolt. The good thing about Bad Batch, guys, is that they've got so much good recovery that it can really just, you can recover a lot of banners, provided you don't get killed in one hit, you can almost always recover, which is great. It's just great. So we've got rid of Qui-Gon Jinn, everybody else has got pretty low health, and yeah, we decide get rid of all the people, really. That's the good way to do things. Obviously, we lost banners because we had a relatively weak, she's like year 9 Omega in the party, and she did get yeeted by Anakin, but that's okay, really. I don't know why I decided to do this. I should have just done the AoE. Oh, we also noticed, guys, I'm not using Hunter Lead. I forgot to mention this. I was so like on tilt after losing 3 teams to Lord Vader that I went in with Bad Batch with Echo Lead. Does it matter? Nope. You don't even need a leadership with Bad Batch, apparently. Yeah, that gave me a giggle. Next up in line, we were going to take on the Rey. Now, we're going to use JML here because... why not? Like, just do it. Just use JML, guarantee the victory. It's got... the R2-D2 comp is not something that I'd really want to use gas with. Like, I don't have a heck of a lot of luck with the gas versus Rey anyway. And we're just going full send on Rey out the gate, to be honest. What I should have done, because my JML is R9, is I can actually full-on kill the side adds with 1 pull to assist. I should have just done that. I wanted to trigger her damage immunity as soon as possible, but honestly, I should just be, like, doing stuff like this. Up. It probably won't work against JTR. It probably will work against JTR as well. She dies to a nice 150,000. 150,000? Yeah, 150,000 prot is what I've got, so I end up doing about 92,000. I want to say 92, 96,000 with that call to assist with the JML's leadership, which also can't be evaded, which is tasty. So I like to have Basti in this squad just because she passes that ability block on her basic, which is actually very useful against Rey because it stops her from whirlwinding. It means she can only use her basic attack. Doesn't stop her ultimate, obviously, but you don't always need to stop the ult. So she's going to ult stance now. Oop. And we're just going to mess around, I think, and just do what we can. You can't land debuffs on Rey when she's in her ultimate stance. You can only do 1 damage to her, and that's it. So you might as well just focus on her. I chose not to steal the buffs. Didn't feel like we needed it. Jolie always gets yeeted by that ultimate. And then the game has a little bit of a hissy fit. I got a little bit concerned thinking my game was going to crash. And I thought, yeah, that's kind of final nail in the coffin. Fortunately for us, it does actually recover, guys. Hashtag spoiler warning. He says with a prayer. What is going on? Yeah, no, everything seems to be fine. I think there's just a problem with the recording, truth be told. So apologies for the video quality here. We do actually win this one. I promise. Pinky promise. Well, I mean, you're not going to lose at this point. There we go. And things get back to normal again. Technology, guys. It'll be the death of me, I swear. So yeah, just clean up Resistance Hero Poe and clean up on R2-D2. I really need to invest more gear into my Jolie. I should relic him and get him chunky. That'll make this sort of thing more banner efficient. Next up in line, we've got the Lord Vader, and now it's come to the point where I'm like, yes, you've got very little health, but I absolutely positively must kill you, or I'm getting nowhere. So I decided to gas it. So this team has taken gas, it's taken bounty hunters, it's taken Maul Mandos, it's taken CLS to kill. I wasted so many teams trying to kill this goddamn Lord Vader that I nearly cried. But hey, that's my fault. I need to learn these counters better. I need to be better at playing the game and more efficient and not try stupid stuff. Now, we do still have a Maul Mandos team here, and I'm checking out my roster and I'm thinking, what can I even use here without you know, using up everything that's left in my roster. And I decided, well, nothing really. In the end, we decided to go for a bit of a hooky Vader lead with Moff Gideon, Thrawn, and TIE Fighter Pilot. I think I throw in an extra character just to act as a little bit of bulk, as almost like an insurance policy, but I can't remember who I take. Do we take anybody? Or do we just go in solo? Maybe I take in Dadboard Boba because he has no other spot. Come on, make a decision. Dadboard Boba, there we go. So, hit the bell button. There we go. Okay, so the idea behind this was my Moff Gideon should be fast enough to stop them going first. I can reduce all their turn meter, and then I'm definitely going first with my Vader. So, okay, great. Stage 1 of the plan is good. Then I realized that that taunt is going to be bouncing around. That's going to be awkward. So I think we drop a crush at the start. Oop, there's the crush. I go for a yeet. You never know. Might happen. It didn't happen, but at least we did some damage. And then I was hoping to get some ability blocks across the board. We got some, but not many. Land another dot. Get the armor shred on for really no good reason, to be honest. And then I was like, oh, as fate would have it, we managed to get Beskar Mando fractured. And I was like, that actually puts me in a rather strong position. I quite like having a fractured Beskar Mando. A little bit concerned about that Canderous though. So I think we go for a yeet on Canderous. Boop. And I'm like, this makes my life so much easier. No Canderous, Bo-Katan is there. Sure, he's got Mando, but you know, maybe we can deal with that. And it turns out that Vader lead is quite useful against Maul. Because whenever he does a Seething Rage, those dots are going to be constantly stacking up damage. So he just basically killed himself, which was nice. So I'd have to try and remember that for future. And at this point, I'm like, yep, this one looks like a gimme. And as far as I'm concerned, using this team, considering I have Starkiller on defense, it's pretty good use of Vader. Pretty good use of Vader. So got rid of Django. Beskar Mando doesn't actually get to take a turn. Shoot him in the face and punch him in the gut. Oop, that's for stealing the limelight in my own show. That's what he's thinking. That's what he's thinking. And then we do get the back wall reveal finally, and that's where I see, oh, well, sugar. We've got a third GL. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't have a hope in hell of clearing this because I've used my Basti. If I had Basti, we could have potentially done this Jedi Knight Revan lead counter. But we don't have her, so I have to try and wing it and throw in Snack Tea instead. Doesn't really work that way. All the same, I've got nothing to lose if I try it. The benefit of having Basti there is you are able to do an extra call to assist, you're able to buff up Jedi Knight Luke so he's able to one-shot some of the characters. Without those additional buffs, things don't look so good. So I decided to basic here just to get the offense up. I was hoping that that offense up would be enough for me to try and get our boy Luke over there dealing some good damage. I get the foresight up and we direct focus General Hux. General Hux actually dies immediately out of that direct focus. I was like, wow, okay. I do the AoE to try and get the ability block on the Sith Trooper. Unfortunately, we didn't land the ability block on Slacker, which is what we needed. If we'd have got the ability block on Slacker, he wouldn't have then cleansed the First Order, the Sith Trooper. And here, because we don't have those extra buffs, we didn't have Master's Training, etc., we were not able to kill the Sith Trooper, and I think that is the pivotal thing. I look here and I see that Sith Trooper's about to take a turn anyway. I might as well kill crew. Get the counterattacks. Boop. Counterattacks. And we get it down to just Slacker, which I think is pretty good going, to be honest. Do some good damage to him there. Get some extra TM. And then I think we pass this over to Shaq T. Get rid of the crit damage up. Get some more offense up. And there comes the big swipe. He recovers a lot of health. He hits that ultimate. And it's not looking good because he's got advantage. We can't crit him. We just do not have enough in the tank to actually kill him. Big sad, because if that counter would have worked, I would have been quite happy. But Unfortunately, we're only getting it down to a lone slacker. Again, if he was Relic 7, perhaps potentially this team might have worked. But when he's Relic 8 and he's got a lot more bulk to him, it's a lot harder. So we got pretty close, but not close enough. I decided to take on the Traya lead with Kyle Katarn, Mon Mothma lead with Kyle Katarn by using my Traya squad. I wasn't confident that this would work because my Nihilus has got no gear. The clones are just there for additional tanking. I was hoping that potentially we can kill this team like this if we get a little bit of good luck. I believe his Kyle Katarn is not massively geared. We didn't land any crits really, which is fantastic. I think we just kill Lando here. And just do the basic on Lando, take him out. Yep, Kyle Katarn does all his nonsense. They bring back Lando, obviously, and they start focusing on my Traya, which makes me very, very sad. We get a little bit extra turns over there, but Traya gets yeeted, and I'm like, oh dear. If I'd have used the Isolate instead, we would have had Held by Hatred off cooldown, which might have done something, maybe, potentially. I mean, it would have saved us a life. No good. No good. And it is time for the Hail Mary phase of the game. We're just throwing absolutely everything in the hopes that we can actually get some progress here. Now, I know we can't win this one, but I might as well clear as much as I possibly can. I send in a Finn lead, OG Finn lead, with OG Poe, Holdo, Stickray, and Major Tom. I was like, well, at least we've got some like AoE damage, we've got potential dazes, we've got potential exposes and TM rolling. Why not? I've got a Zeta on the Finn lead, it could work. So to get for the stun on Kyle Katarn, I realized that Kyle Katarn's only gear 11. Maybe I should just focus him down and kill him. Take out Wedge. That's one less damage dealer to worry about. They're healing up again. I'm getting a little bit concerned. Stickray, do your thing. Yes, Stickray gets a kill. There's only 2 of them left. Can we actually Uno reverse this particular one? Healing up. I'm feeling pretty confident right now. We get 3 exposes. Boop. TM. Boop. And it's looking pretty good for us. See if we can get the days. No days. Drop a knee. Nice, nice, nice. It's just Biggs, the most annoying person to deal with in this team. And Major Tom comes in with the explosive barrel. Love to see it. We actually got another kill. So we've just got the Night Sisters and a Phasma First Order team in the north, so we could potentially get through to Fleet. So we are up against the Phasma lead. I decided to go in with Kira and Nest. Now this can get a little bit hairy if the OG Kylo is particularly dangerous. So I didn't really have a whole lot to lose by trying this. My Nest is R3. She's not the most chunky or damaging in the world. She just has essentially high tenacity. She's slow and high tenacity, and that's all I've managed to invest. I've gone for kind of a minimal investment in her to get some solo use out of her, just to have something in my back pocket for situations like this. I have had this fail a couple of times, just because, you know, OG Kylo is difficult to kill, and he can actually stack up quite a lot of damage. So he's the real threat here. I obviously want to get rid of Fox, because Fox can reduce TM, which is unlikely with my high tenacity, but he can also stack max health and eventually stack enough damage to one-shot my Nest, which I really don't want to happen. So yeah, him doing that attack there, he gets a little bit annoying. Just looking to try and kill him. In future, when I do this, what I want to actually do is try and stun the OG Kylo early on. Like here, for example, I should have used that on the OG Kylo. If we land the stun, what you don't want to be doing is constantly attacking OG Kylo, because they just ramp up a lot of defense and a lot of additional offense. So now is the dangerous part of it. We've got that lone Kylo Ren, and he's recovering lots of protection and stacking damage, and so are we. But if he lands a stun like that, which I'm still very surprised he managed to do, because I think I've got about 160% potent tenacity on my Nest. I thought, wow, okay, that's surprising. What we're really looking for here is to land consecutive stuns on him. If we don't land stuns, we never get through to the kill. You see, we almost kill him there, but he recovers 50% of his protection. You do a bit of damage, he recovers all of his protection. I'm like, I need to get 2 stuns in the bounce, otherwise we're never going to kill him. And he potentially could one-shot us. You can see how low we get in health. If it wasn't for the Kira lead giving us that extra protection recovery, I think we would have died. So we got the stun. Nearly killed him. He recovers all his protection. I'm like, God damn. Max protection again. Max protection again. We get the stun and kill him. I was like, close, but 64 banners. So now we have the final team in the northern section. We have got the Imperial Troopers. I made a judgment call here. I could have used these Imperial Troopers to kill that slacker without issue. But I definitely wouldn't clear these Night Sisters out if I did that. So I'm going to absolutely run a train over these sisters. It's going to be completely overkill, but who cares? At least I can have a little bit of enjoyment. I'm not sure why I focused old Daka here. It was kind of pointless, but you know, the double punch is always nice to see. Who doesn't like punching old women in the stomach, right, guys? I don't actually like doing that, guys. It's a joke, guys. Relax. Yeah, so they got wrecked. Absolutely wrecked. But that was no surprise. Imperial Troopers are always going to wreck Night Sisters. That was an overkill use of that team, but I knew I wasn't clearing south. I just don't have anything left in the tank because I've dropped too many battles in the north. You can see his fleet is pretty much weak sauce. We've got a Holdo fleet, we've got a Rebels fleet, and we've got an Empire fleet. So, first of the fleets, we are going to take out the Empire fleet, and I have chosen for my squad of choice to be the Separatists. We're going in with the Malevolence. It's an easy counter. He obviously saved all of his best fleets for offense. Still dropped the battle against the Executor. It shows how unlikely it is as a counter. Then again, I did remember now that this guy actually only had a 4-star Executor, so he probably took it on offense just to try and make sure that the 2-tap is almost guaranteed, which he did manage to do. Now this guy has obviously got the TIE Iron Interceptor, but has no gear on it because that is very few. That's very few health bars on that ship right now. I call in the Spy. We get the target on Darth Vader, which is pretty fortunate, I'd say. And we just rip him out of there, and then we just focus down the TIE Bomber, and it is game, set, and match for this particular fleet battle. There's nothing to worry about from that TIE Iron Interceptor. It has got no health. It's got less than no health. It has 0 protection, and that's okay. Although all that foresight is a little bit annoying. There goes the Emperor's shuttle. Get rid of that foresight, and Second Sister gets burned out of there. 72 banners. Sight. Next up, we are taking on the Rebels. Now, the Rebels are going to get crushed by the might of the Galactic Republic here. He's gone for an interesting starting lineup with Cassian Andor. Think that was a misclick. Think he was supposed to go for the Bistan lineup there. Think he messed it up. But that's okay. We do the mass assist and we yeet him out, I think. Or do we go... Oh, no, we're actually going out for the Y-Wing over there. The Y-Wing is the deadlier of those two. It's the one you want to get rid of. I look at it and think, wow, this guy is going to get absolutely wrecked when we do this. Boop. He does get a dodge, I think. So I was like, okay. Boop. But they all die. 73. Easy dubs. And the final fleet battle of the night is going up against the Rebels. And I decided to go for the Rebels? It's not the Rebels, sorry, it's the Resistance. And I decide to take my Rebels in. Because Rebels like to destroy the Resistance. Because the OG trilogy is better than the sequel trilogy. Bite me. Yeah, so it's an easy one match, this one, guys. You just sort of kill stuff and they die. Fleets, super interesting game mode. Pivotal. It actually is pivotal, yeah. Executor or lose, basically. And then I realized over there, oh, he's got his Bistan in his Radus lineup. That's weird. Why? I don't know. It goes so much better in the Rebel squad, but whatever. Maybe he wanted to have stealth. I don't know. Either way, what we do know is that it doesn't exactly work for him, so he can go and kick rocks, as far as I'm concerned. And there he is. He gets rid of the evasion there, the dodge, and we just need to clean up this one fleet, and we're dunzos for the day. Now, we're having a little bit of gameplay issues once again. Apologies for that. But hopefully it cleans itself up nice and quickly. There we go, and Bistan is about to eat it. Oop! There goes Bistan. We get 73 banners. So on fleet, we were pretty good, but let's be honest, guys, the fleet defense was pretty appalling anyway. And I am relatively confident that is actually where we leave it, because we have got nothing left in the tank from too many drop battles against that Lord Vader. If we didn't drop all those battles against Lord Vader, I think we could have got the full clear, almost certainly. You know, we still would have had CLS, we still would have had gas. Yeah, we probably could have full cleared without it, but unfortunately, alas, it was not to be so. I don't feel too bad about not getting the full clear here. He had 3 GLs for offense against my 2 on defense, and still had 3 GLs on defense. So in situations like these, we might as well just try and do what we can. So guys, I do hope you enjoyed this particular run through. Do consider hitting that like button, that subscribe button, and check the comment section down below. You will find links to my Twitter, my Twitch, my Discord. Please do join me. You can watch these matches live in front of a live studio audience featuring Smudge, the smallest miniature giant space bear in the known land. And until the next video, peace out.
Just giving a quick shout out to my patrons. I appreciate each and every single one of you, and without your support, I wouldn't be doing this today. Thanks so much.